Alright, hello guys, and welcome to the third video of our MS PowerPoint series on Learn.io. Today we're going to be talking about transitions and animations. But before we start, I do want to say don't overuse these, especially the animations. Try to only use those if you're trying to make a point or if you genuinely have information that you don't want to reveal all of at the same time on a slide. With that said, that's not how I'm going to use them in this presentation. Just to demonstrate, I'm going to use them on, more generic standard information, just to show them off a little. All right, with that said, let's get started. So you can see up here on the ribbon, there's two different tabs for these. There's a Transitions tab and an Animations tab. And so first, it's probably best if I start by telling you the difference between the two. So transition is basically how the slide changes from one slide to the next. So if I had a split transition, right? When the presentation starts, that animation right there that you saw on screen is how it would start. Keep in mind the transition that you add is always going to be coming into the slide, not leaving the slide. So then if I had the next slide, and another thing, don't use too many different types of transitions. In the same presentation, it becomes too much and it just starts to look kind of strange. Best to stick with the same transition or similar ones for the entire presentation. So then let's say that's the next transition, I would just keep doing wipe along. That's probably the best way to do it. And basically what that does is then when you're presenting, here you go, you start with that transition, then it wipes over to the next one, then it wipes over to the next one, then it wipes over to the next one, and so on and so forth. And in case you didn't know, this button up here, that's how you present the slideshow from the very first slide. So that's pretty cool. You can make it last longer or shorter. So if I wanted the first transition to last 3 whole seconds, because why not? Really dramatic reveal, I could do that. If I wanted it to be super quick, be like half a second long, I could also do that. Although really, why have the transition at that point? There's all sorts of stuff. You can customize it a bit. You can add sound effects to them. None of which really make too much sense in this case, but you do have that. You also have an apply to all effect. So if I wanted to apply split to all my slides, boom, now all of my slides are split. And that does replace the wipe that I had before on all of them. You can also see over here, there's a preview. If I don't want to present to see what my transitions look like, I can just do preview, and it'll show me the transitions of that slide. With that said, animations are basically transitions or animations that play for each individual element on a slide. So to apply one, I select an element. I basically say, okay, I want this to fly in. Why not? Basically, if I preview now, when I start the slide, that's what's going to happen. A better way to explain it, presentation, wipe, right? You click next, goes to the next slide. But the information isn't there until you press the next arrow key once, then it does its animation and enters. So that's why I'm saying if there's some information that you want to hide from the audience to make a specific point, then it's really good to have an animation that delays the entrance of that specific piece of information, right? But in this case, this probably isn't the best one to have a fly-in animation for. That's just how it is. For the sake of the example, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to select these two. Let's say I want them both to appear next. And then I want these two to appear next. So I'll select this. Oh, sorry. And this. And then I'll appear those third, right? So now if I play this presentation, have the first one, have my transitions, they all look nice. The screen looks blank. Next, title shows up. Next, first set of information. Next, second set of information. If you decide, oh, well, maybe I want the titles to show up first and then I want their information to show up, no worries. You can actually go to reorder animation right here. Move earlier, move later is also an option. It's being covered up by my recording. right now, so it's not really going to work so easily for me. But you can reorder all of your animations as such. Basically, you can also do start with previous, start on click, so they all start at the same time, or what different things trigger them. But yeah, so they're pretty easy to move around, order them around. And yeah, I think that's basically the gist of animations. You can do those really to anything. You can apply them to tables. You could say the table splits in. You could have the graph be random bars entering. There's all sorts of things. You can apply a trigger to it. So you can say on the click. Some of them, certain animations you can have on bookmark, which has a different trigger. Again, this is one of those things where I'd say just experiment, try different things out, see what you like. And that's probably the best way to go about it. But yeah, that's what animations are. That's how animations and transitions work. I hope you learned something. See you next time.